Yep. All right. It looks like we're live. Christian West here from Executive Support and Logistics with Greg McKinn. What's up, Greg? How are you?
I'm well. How you doing, sir? Good to see you.
Good. Good to see you, man.
Yeah.
I heard that you're coming out here to Vegas to see me next week.
I absolutely am, and I'm bringing as many friends as I possibly can.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. What is it that we have going on next week? Just to kind of
so
make it for everybody.
It's obviously it's Vegas, so there's all kinds of things going on all the time, and I'd spent 14 years of my life there, so I have a different kind of feeling about it. But I think what you're talking about is one for one, ISC West. There's gonna be a ton of security professionals going to be in town that week, all week. But specifically, what we're talking about is the next and the first of 2024, the first EP Mixer. I'm pretty excited about that. I know you are too. We've been kind of planning this loosely, for first couple months, and then we really had to dig into to get it up and running. And getting these things off the ground isn't always easy, especially when you're coming out of the holidays and things like that. But we have we've had a great response, and it's going to be a great time.
I think so.
Yeah.
How many years have we been running these mixers now? Are we on 3 or 4, or what are we at?
Well, the first one that we did before it really became what it is was in August of 2021, and it was in Columbus, Ohio, because it was easy for me to get to. There we had about 22, 25 people show. And, and then quickly through the years, and we did the very next month, we did one in Orlando at GSX.
That was a good one. I mean, we had a lot of people on that one for sure.
Yeah. We didn't promote it too much.
Not much. No.
Yeah. So, we had like 150 people show. So that was
something like that. Yeah. It was
really good. Yeah. And then we did another one in 2022 in Grapevine. And then at the end of last year is when we got serious about actually putting these things on. And so we did, I think we did 6 last year. And we got 4 on the books this year. So, which I think is probably the best number. We figured out the formula as to where like major markets or, bigger shows, things like that.
Yeah. And what are the next one after this one? That's going to be in DC, right?
Yep. Yeah, we're going to be in DC. Technically, it's in Arlington. However, I don't want to get confused. Is it Virginia or Texas or where? So we're saying DC. It's right across the river, we already got sponsors lined up for that, or some sponsors lined up for that. I know people are already interested in being there, so it's looking good.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much interest there is in DC for a mixer when we're not there for OSAC or something else, but actually just there on our own, right? But I'm sure we'll have a great turnout. So why should people come to the mixer here and when is the mixer? It's on is it Wednesday or Thursday? I think it's Thursday, right?
Thursday, June 11th, from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. And you can check out head to any of the social media platforms. It's on there, but it's a place called SG Bar. It's out on West Flamingo Road, and you'll no problem finding it. It's clear as day to get there. But the reasons of it, I mean, obviously, I just believe in networking so much. I mean, hell, that's how you and I connected, really. These many years ago. But there's things that come up there, and you never know what the conversation is going to hold. But people find, vendors, right? They find people in, somebody in another state. Oh man, I'm so glad to meet you. My client just asked me if we got anybody in Ohio or in Florida or Michigan or whatever,
I mean, that's how we all build our networks,
Yeah. So there's that, people that are looking for work. And that's a lot of it too, is like, people are coming out of schools, or they're coming out of their, their first career, or, whatever it is, or they're transitioning. And they, where do I go to find it? It's like, I go to Indeed and, but that's a resume. That's ink on paper that they're getting when they print out your resume. You get to actually meet people that own businesses here if you're looking for work. and just connect and have good conversations with people that know what's going on in the industry. And that's sharing wealth, the learning possibilities of what's happening in an industry that you've chosen. They're really endless.
Yeah, they are. And what I really like, that I always feel is kind of cool, is that when I go to these mixers, and I've been in this game for a very long time, right? So I feel like I know everybody, but every time I come to one of these mixers, I get to know new people that are either breaking into the industry, and even people who's been in the industry for a long time who just didn't make it to whatever conference or whatever, because we're all kind of in a very much either ad hoc business or a business that's on somebody else's time, right? You can have the best intentions and the best plans, and you can have plans to go, but if the client decides he needs to go somewhere else in the same days, you're not going to make the mixer. That's for sure, right? So even to this day, I still get to know a lot of new people when we go to these mixers, and I really enjoy that. And then, of course, there is the whole aspect of finding subcontractors and talking to people. And one of the things that has been really beneficial for me is when I, as part of my consultancy, helps corporation hire people, and I sit and look at the resumes that they send in, I go, oh man, I met that guy in person at the mixer at so-and-so. He was actually really cool. Let me talk to this guy, right?
Yeah.
So if you have the chance, I would highly, highly recommend coming to the mixers, even if you're not a outgoing, super social, maybe a little bit introvert or whatever, which a lot of us are. The mixers are actually a really good way to build networks. You're laughing. What are you laughing about?
It's well, that's one of the reasons that I think I've wanted to do this, right? Because I know what it's. I've been to the conferences, right? You have pockets. You have so many guys and gals standing by themselves, not sure where to go. I don't even know how to do this. You come to a mixer, you're in a relaxed setting. There's it's a professional environment, but there's booze flowing, so that helps a little bit, right? You're getting met at the front door with a smile, like they know that why you're there. And a lot of they should be easy conversations to start. And so, a lot of people that, are introverted that are, if I had somebody that I needed to protect my family, I know where I can go. I know that, I know the people I can talk to. And sometimes those are the people that need help to just start a conversation about anything. It can be about the weather. As much as people hate small talk, sometimes you have to let that happen. Let those people, you might be ready for a full conversation, but letting people that are new to it, or at least new to formally networking, let them ease in on their, on their own to get the most. And I hate to put it this way because I don't mean it this way, but to get the most out of them, which just means you get to see their talents, you get to see their capabilities, the things that they've done. They give you their resume a little bit, where they are, where they operate, you get their background, and that's really valuable in each conversation that you have.
Oh, for sure. And I think the whole thing, like you said, get their resumes and bring a lot of business cards, so you can be sure to hand out business cards when you're there. I mean, a golden rule is never run out of business cards at a conference or a mixer or whatever, right? It's the cheapest way of advertising. And it's funny because even today, in our world where we all try to be as digital and whatever, when you look at a desk, and I mean, if I just look at mine here and I try to rinse it out when I don't need them and put them in my archives and whatever, but I mean, I always collect business cards and they stay with you, right? So whenever you remember that you need somebody in whatever city or whatever, you had a card from somebody, right? So it's cool. It's really cool.
Yeah. That's the standard, that's the standard you don't want to fall below. Right. One thing, I'm going to say this unprompted, but when you say digital, and they have those digital cards that are out there where you can tap somebody and it can go on the phone.
Those are really cool too.
Those are really cool. They're great, but I have to remember your name if I just met you to go back into my phone to find you.
Yeah.
That one of the downfalls is that when you come to a mixer, go to a conference, whatever, a lot of times you're meeting so many people, and to have that that hard card reminder of a name, any notes that you maybe took while they were on, but just that you met somebody from wherever, having that reminder for me has been wildly important. So that's one of those things that I warn against. Like, hey, if you got the memory for it, great. Or if you're diligent in going back and looking through who did I meet new, or how did I put them in so I remember that they're new, to go back and look, that's like more power to you. But if you don't do that, and you know that you don't do that, collect hard cards, bring hard cards. It's just a great reminder for when you leave the city.
Well, there's also the whole thing. Think about it for a second. I mean, I'm in my 50s, right? So when I started in this business, we had just gotten mobile phones and stuff like that, right? But we didn't have discipline about creating our contact database and all of that stuff, right? And I don't know, I probably have 10, 15,000 contacts or whatever in my phone. But if you know how many, as an example, Alan and then a phone number, or Peter and a phone number there is, and you have no idea who these people are, right? Because they've been in there for so long, and you don't really want to delete them because, I don't know, it's a lot of work and whatever. And one day you get a text or a call from these people and you have no clue who they are, right? Yeah. So one of the things that I wish I had been better at when we talk about network, and I almost think this should be taught in high school, right? Because we're so addicted to our digital footprint moving forward, but to have discipline about our Outlook or our contact database or whatever, so we actually know who they are. And the other day I met a new guy, and he actually had this discipline of whenever he met a new person and gave out a business card, he took a picture with him so he could always remember who they were. And I was like, man, I should have done that a long time ago. You can actually remember, right?
Yeah. That's great. Here, hold your card up. We're going to take a selfie. So you kind of get the whole experience, right? The whole digital, right.
And,
hey, this is.
And now that I think about it, that guy actually is smarter than all of us, right? Because I remember him now. Yeah. Oh, he's the selfie guy. Right.
Yeah. Right. And you might not think about it, but that guy thought about it. You don't just do that on accident. Like there was a game plan that he had.
Maybe.
So,
well, yeah. Well, he definitely outsmarted me.
I'm sure of it.
He outsmarted me, but Craig, that doesn't take a lot. So that's kind of cool. Wow. Right. So let's go over it one more time. You said Thursday.
Yeah.
What?
So Thursday. April 11th from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m.
In Las Vegas.
Yeah, SG Bar in Las Vegas. It's out on West Flamingo. So when you see the address, I don't remember the address specifically. Not that anybody would, but it's out on West Flamingo Road, and it's gonna be a great time. Like I said, we've had a pretty massive response to it. I'm looking forward to seeing who actually shows. Which is always good. I mean, you always have attrition, but we're usually pretty close to what we have. So yeah.
So that's cool. And what can people expect when they show up? There'll be great networking. There'll be a bunch of people from the EP industry and related kind of industries. And when we say related, it's typically people who do stuff that touches the EP industry, TSCM, cars and drivers, whatever else. And then there's networking for a couple of hours. There's booze, and people can buy more booze if they want. And is there food? And can people buy food, or how does that work?
Yeah, we'll have some food. I mean, I always find that's kind of secondary. Are there drinks, right? So food is able to be ordered. It's in a restaurant, but it's in we're having one of their private spaces. Yeah. So we'll there'll be that. And Christian, you said one of the things that you said that I want people to make and hear is that if you're watching this, chances are that you know the industry well enough to know that this is a thing, right? And the conferences are things, and networking is a thing. But even if you're not specifically executive protection, right? That you said, the countermeasures, the driving, anything. I got a buddy of mine who's on a corporate canine team, is a supervisor for a corporate canine team in Vegas. I'm like, dude, you got to come. He's like, I'm not EP. I'm like, I don't care. there's going to be people that you can talk to there. Not that he even necessarily wants to get into it, but just knowing more people or letting more people know you, regardless of what you're doing right now, doesn't mean you won't be doing something else the next day, the next week, or the next year. And just, again, continuing to build that network.
No, and what's really cool is somebody like that actually would be great, because how many corporations have a in-house K9 team, right? So it's always interesting to hear how that works and how they do, and what do they do when they don't sniff for bombs or drugs or whatever they do, right? I mean, I love having conversations with people like that. So I highly encourage people from the outliers of the industry to show up as well, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, hey, man, I know you're busy. I just wanted to catch up with you really quickly and do a quick little live stream where we talk about the mix-up. We might be able to squeeze one more in before Thursday. Let's see how it goes.
Sure.
And look on all the social media channels for the next one, which is going to be in DC. And when was that? You said in June?
June, yeah. It's going to be June 8th, Saturday, June 8th. So,
all right. Yeah. But before we focus on that, let's get Vegas over first, right?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Also, if you are at the ISC West and you're walking the floor or at the conference or whatever, I'll be there. I'll be walking around. I don't know if you'll be at the conference, Greg, but if you see us, come over and say hi, or hit us up on social media, and we can schedule something if you guys have any questions or want to talk or catch up or whatever. Anyway, good seeing you, buddy. And I'll see you next week.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
All right, man. Take care.